Okay, so I think that so let's just start off with the first animal. So the first animal that I did was a rabbit, and I went along the theme with all of the animals to be in sort of a college interview, but it wasn't really well put together. It was just, improv, a reduced college interview. Because right now I'm looking at colleges and that's kind of what's on my mind. But so the rabbit was very it wasn't a very difficult animal to do, surprisingly. Rabbits have a pretty standard set of verbs or adjectives that go with them, like being timid or being really scared or nervous, or just kind of flighty a little bit. And I also wanted to throw in some fun nods to rabbits in general, like naming my character Flopsy and saying that they were from the burrow, South Carolina, like, a rabbit burrow. And, a place where there's lots of kids, because bunnies have lots of offspring and stuff usually. So it was a very fun character to do. Obviously, I hope I could, demonstrate that in my acting. But yeah, I learned that a lot of characters are they're either extreme or they're kind of more shrunk up in themselves, and that's how their personalities are, and that's how their emotion, like how they act with their physical limbs, and how they react physically, and how they react internally are often the same, except for the snake, but we're going to come up to that one soon. But just kind of buried in yourself, and almost hugging yourself to, because bunnies are anxious a lot and stuff. So anyway, on to the next one. Snake. The snake was fun because again, I threw in some fun nods about like grabbing and coiling around the college company. But I think that snakes are very fluidy creatures, and I hope I could demonstrate that in like way my arms moved, and how I almost tried to slither and have a soothing voice, but also have fire packed in that voice, and have a trigger that could go off, and snakes go off and they attack. So they may seem classy and put together and whatnot, but at the drop of a hat they will attack. So that was kind of my inspiration for the snake that I named Selena, that I reenacted. And then for the bird, I named her Robin. She was probably the most fun character to reenact, because obviously the arms floating, being really happy and chipper and always excited, and just being truly joyful was something that I wanted to bring in this character. And also some attributes of probably what a bird's personality would be like, things that would be their passion, like flying, or, well, like I said, I think she wanted a major in aerospace aeronautics or something like that. I don't quite remember, but something that had to do with airplanes and flying and space and stuff like that. So of course that would be something that a bird would be drawn to if they were a person. And then also choir, because birds love to sing. Well, most birds like to sing, like little songbirds, they like to sing. And just kind of a sing-songy, carefree, happy character that always wants to, bring joy to people, was my inspiration for Robin. Definitely one of the easiest. Well, no, I would take that back. Probably the most fun. I think the dog was the easiest, because that kind of goes back to more my personality that I could relate to. because I'm more extroverted. But anyway, on to the dog. So I named the dog Rover, short for Lorelei or Rory, and then Rover. Don't ask my thought process on that, but I wanted to, you know, again, incorporate kind of a fun name into the dog. And so I thought that making sure that the dog was super, almost overly friendly, but, you know, happy and excited, and I included some key attributes that you would think of a dog if they were a person, like playing ball, or in this case I chose soccer, anything that had to do with ball, and loving green space and lots of people. I was kind of honing on a more of a golden retriever dog, not like a, you know, little mean dog or something like that, but a nice, friendly family dog that always wants to be obedient and really wants to impress and meet the standards of whoever's above them. Like, dogs always want to be obedient, and they want to make their family or their people happy. And so I wanted this dog character to make these college admissions counselors happy with, you know, being really chipper and happy and excited and friendly and joyful. So on to the sloth. The sloth was a bit of an interesting character. It was definitely the hardest because I don't talk very slowly. I talk really fast and sporadically, like the dog. So kind of honing it down, and I think that at some points I did talk quickly or faster than you may think a sloth would, just because that energy that I was still having from the dog was kind of coming out because I hadn't really fully brought it down. But the sloth was definitely fun, and I didn't want to hone in specifically on the slow talking, because a lot of times when you think of like a sloth in an animated movie or something, you think of the slow talking, but the slow thinking and the slow reactions and the slow movements I thought were also important. So I wanted to demonstrate that with the sloth that I named Stephanie, and just kind of almost not be, definitely not be there, present, you know, almost like a daydreamy sloth thinking about something else, when the next meal is or something like that, or when's the next time you get to sleep. So yeah, it was definitely a really fun experiment. It was a little bit tiring. I was pretty tired after that, but it was like a good fun adrenaline, because you know, usually when you're working on a desk all day for schoolwork, it's nice to get a break and get up and do something active and fun. So I think that this assignment was really, it was really an interesting take. I've never done anything really like this. And so it was a fun way to demonstrate acting in a more unusual way, and just kind of bring out different nuances or things that you may say, hey, I'm good at acting like this kind of animal and a character. This may be my thing. I'm able to do these characters really well, or I may need to work on this aspect of a character that resembles an animal, something like that. So it was really eye-opening that to get to participate in this, and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely a fun experiment with acting. I really enjoyed it. All right.